This is the third video in the miniature train tutorial. It's going to cover how to build our smokestack. So far in the course, we really only used the extrude command to create our models, but this part is actually more easily created using the revolve command. So this is what is provided on the LMS. It gives you the documentation of the geometry, the sizes, etc. This is an image of what it's going to end up looking like, and this is actually where I'm starting my sketch from. So this sketch is just created on the front plane, the XY plane. Generally speaking, when I'm replicating provided stuff, I guess, I tend to sketch the geometry that I need, avoiding dimensions, so that way I can just kind of click back and forth and add the dimensions that I need. When I follow those procedures, it's easiest if you provide your overall dimensions first, because that'll kind of scale the sketch for you. So for example here, the overall height of this part ends up being 1.75, and when I put that dimension in, not 14, 1.75, notice how the rest of the geometry kind of scales for me. Couple things I will point out is I have not drawn this angular line yet because it is dimensioned with an angular measurement opposed to a linear dimension. I'm going to come up to that. The other thing that I'll stress is that I'm actually dimensioning half of this part. So when I look at what's provided in Inventor or in the LMS, instead of drawing this whole profile as if I were to cut it in half and create that sketch, I'm just drawing one half of it. That's what the Revolve tool is going to do, is it's going to take that geometry and it's going to revolve it around the center axis. So the dimension I just placed represents this 0.5 diameter, but like I just said, I only need half of it. So instead of 0.5, I'm doing 0.25, quarter inch. I'm going to try dimensioning some things from memory. I believe this was a quarter inch as well. I believe this height was 1.5. And then the last dimension I would need to fully constrain what I'm doing here is this dimension. So if I come back into my sketch here, 0.25, 1.5 was correct. Now all I need is, this measurement from the center point to this outside diameter. So 1.25, I'm going to simply make Inventor do the math for me. So 1.25 divided by 2. And now to complete this profile, I just need to draw this line. Right now, this horizontal line has no length assigned to it. It's just there. But we're going to constrain it once I draw this last line. So if I look at my sizes, the only information I have for this edge is its starting location and the angle. It then terminates where the top of my part meets with it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start my line from that corner. I'm going to purposely draw that line long, and I'm going to tab over to control the angular measurement. Now, on the Word document, it's listed as 15 degrees. I just have to pay attention to the fact that I'm not starting from a vertical position, but a horizontal position. So I'm actually at 90 plus 15. Again, I'm going to draw that line purposely long and use my modify commands to extend and trim out the geometry to reflect what I need. So that is the fully constrained sketch that we need. It's telling me that I still need one dimension, so I'm going to check this. And that's just this construction line, so that's actually not important. So I'm going to leave that one alone and go to revolve the sketch. So I go to my revolve command. It's already selected the profile. Now I simply need to select the axis in which I'm revolving around. And notice as soon as I do that, it revolves it a full 360 degrees. If I was needing to only revolve it, a particular angle, and this kind of gives you a good idea of what the Revolve tool is actually doing. I could specify the angle to be anything I need it to be, 1 degree to 360. But I do want a full revolve, and that gives us the overall shape of our part. I'm going to use the hole command now. I'm going to say concentric. I'm going to say that that's the plane that I need it to be, and it's concentric to that outside arc. So that speeds the process up a little bit. It's a little bit more advanced way of doing the holes, but it does place a hole that is fully constrained and ready to go. Now, this hole type is a little bit more complicated than what we've used so far. If I look at the documentation provided, it tells me a diameter of 0.375 that has a depth of 1.5. Then this symbol represents a counter bore. The counter bore has a 0.875 diameter and a depth of 0.375. To do this in Inventor, I need to select a counterbored hole, which is the second option down. Alright, and realistically all I'm doing is filling out all of this information. My counter bore diameter was 0.875. The depth of that counter bore was 0.375. And then the overall depth of my hole, I believe, was 1.5, and the diameter being 0.375. So I'm going to check all that information real quick. 0.375, 1.5, 875, 375. Double check. We're good to go. As soon as I apply that, I can close the hole command. I can make this whatever color I want it to be. Let's say black, and go ahead and save it in my folder with my train body part. So I'm going to say MT-smokestack. Now that part's done. You can see that it reflects what I already had drawn. It reflects what we have in the Word document. We're good to go.